September 2022. A teenager is sitting in a budget hotel room in Bester, England. No laptop, police already took it. Just a TV, a phone, and a Fire Stick. The same device you probably use to watch Netflix in bed. And from that room, he walks straight into one of the most secretive game studios on Earth, steals 90 videos of the most anticipated game in history, and posts them online for the entire world to see before Rockstar Games even knows what happened. This is the story of the GTA 6 leak, and honestly, the more you dig into it, the stranger it gets. Most people know the surface-level version. Hacker gets in, dumps footage, gets caught. But there are layers to this that almost nobody has talked about, details that make the whole thing feel less like a cybercrime and more like a dark comedy where everything that could go wrong did for everyone. And there's one detail sitting at the very end of this story that ties the whole thing together in a way that almost feels scripted. Stick around for that one. Let's start with the part that earned Rockstar's trust, because that's where this whole thing actually begins. The hacker's name is Arion Kurtaj. He was a teenager, a key member of a hacking group called Lapsus, and at the time of the Rockstar breach, he was already out on bail after hacking Nvidia. So he wasn't exactly flying under the radar. Police had placed him in a Travelodge hotel for his own safety. Because rival hackers had doxed him, posted his name, his address, photos from his social media, he was a target, so authorities moved him somewhere they could protect him. A budget hotel in a quiet English town, and that is the room he hacked Rockstar Games from. Think about that for a second. The state was actively shielding the person who then pulled off the crime from the very room they'd hidden him in. Now, the question everyone always asks is, how? His laptop was gone. He was supposed to be off the internet. He used an Amazon Fire Stick, a mobile phone, and a hotel TV to breach Rockstar Games and dump roughly 90 clips of early GTA 6 footage onto the internet. The same device that's sitting in millions of living rooms right now. The thing you use to pull up a movie when you're too lazy to find the remote. That was the weapon. The biggest leak in gaming history ran on a $30 piece of plastic. But here's what makes it even more interesting. Getting in wasn't some sophisticated technical operation. The group's methods included social engineering, insider bribery, and exploiting authentication systems. In Kurtaj's case, prosecutors said he broke in by pretending to be an employee who had forgotten their password. That's it. He called up, played the role of a confused contractor who couldn't get into their account, and Rockstar's systems let him through. And the evidence that convicted him? His own iPhone. The logs showed the device used to enroll in the system was the exact type and specification of the phone seized from him at the hotel. He used his own phone to get in, and that same phone became the thing that proved he did it, so he's inside. And what does he do? He doesn't quietly copy files and disappear. He posts a message in Rockstar's internal Slack to every employee in the company that says word for word, "I'm not a Rockstar employee, I'm an attacker." Then he gave them a 24-hour ultimatum, contact him on Telegram, or he'd release the source code. This wasn't a quiet data theft. He walked into the company's internal chat and taunted the entire staff in real time, like he was daring them to stop him. They didn't stop him in time, and what came next was chaos. He released 90 clips from GTA 6, along with the game's source code on a fan forum. Overnight footage of one of the most secretive games ever made was just out there. Raw, unfinished, crash test dummy-level pre-alpha footage, and the internet did exactly what you'd expect. Fans started mocking the graphics, assuming what they were seeing was close to the final product. The thing is, that's not how game development works. What leaked was internal testing footage, the kind of stuff that's never meant to be seen by anyone outside the studio. And here's where something genuinely unexpected happened. Developers from Naughty Dog, Remedy, and the Uncharted team started publicly sharing their own embarrassing early builds to defend Rockstar, to show the world that every game looks like that at some point. Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann posted a message to Rockstar staff directly, telling them to keep pushing, keep making art. Competitors in an industry not exactly known for warmth between studios exposed their own ugly internal footage to protect a rival. The leak accidentally triggered one of the most unusual moments of solidarity the gaming industry has ever seen. Meanwhile, Rockstar's parent company Take-Two was doing the opposite of staying quiet. They flooded YouTube with copyright strikes on every video showing the leaked footage, and fans immediately read that as confirmation. Because you don't issue DMCA takedowns on videos that aren't your property. The attempt to bury the leak was the very thing that authenticated it. The harder they pushed, the more real it looked. A textbook case of the Streisand effect playing out in real time, and then someone tried to profit off the chaos and got burned. In the middle of all this, an impersonator showed up claiming to have the stolen source code for sale. Someone paid $100,000 in Bitcoin for it. The actual hacker denied owning the wallet the money was sent to, which means whoever paid got absolutely nothing. The leak spawned a six-figure con riding on the back of the first crime, and the buyer had no recourse, no product, and no way to get their money back. Now here's the thing I mentioned you should stick around for, because Rockstar's problem wasn't just one hacker in one hotel room. Remember that detail about the open loop at the start? This is where it closes. Even before Kurtaj got in, there was a separate leak traced back through photo metadata, a photo taken on June 22, 2021, with an Apple iPhone 12 Pro, with the GPS coordinates pointing to 2020 Faraday Avenue in Carlsbad, California. That's the address of Rockstar San Diego, and that leak was reportedly connected to a family member of a Rockstar developer. Not a hacker, not a criminal group, someone connected to someone inside the studio. Rockstar wasn't just being attacked from the outside, it was leaking from every possible direction at once. Rockstar later told courts the incident had cost the company $5 million to recover from and consumed thousands of hours of staff time across the studio. And beyond the money, analysts warned that the breach could be used as justification to end remote work, framing decentralized work as a security vulnerability. Rockstar later mandated a full return to office 5 days a week. A teenager in a budget hotel with a Fire Stick arguably reshaped the work policy of one of the most secretive studios on Earth. Oh, and the trailer. A year after the original leak, less than 16 hours before the official GTA 6 Trailer 1 was scheduled to go live, someone got access to the unlisted YouTube video and leaked that too, with the words BYBTC watermarked across the footage in massive letters. The most anticipated reveal in gaming history didn't happen on Rockstar's terms. It was hijacked by a crypto advertisement, twice burned by leakers, $5 million down, thousands of hours of staff time gone, and the game still isn't out yet. As for Kurtaj, he was initially sentenced in December 2023 to indefinite detention in a medical facility after being deemed unfit for trial due to a diagnosis of acute autism. Officials said he had expressed violent behavior while in custody, and a mental health assessment claimed he continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. He is highly motivated. He wasn't sent to prison, he was sent to a secure hospital indefinitely until doctors decided he was fit to stand trial. BBC News cyber correspondent Joe Tidy confirmed that Kurtaj is now out of the secure hospital he was sent to and now in a normal prison awaiting retrial, with a conventional criminal trial scheduled for November. That retrial coincides with the upcoming launch of GTA 6, scheduled for November 19, 2026 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS. The man who leaked the game in raw, unfinished form will face a judge in the same month the finished product finally reaches players. You genuinely could not write this. Kurtaj was never convicted through a conventional criminal trial. The original proceedings established what he did, not criminal guilt in the traditional legal sense, which is part of why a retrial is now possible. An assessment conducted as part of the original trial determined that Kurtaj continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. He is highly motivated. So here's where we land. A teenager in protective custody using a $30 streaming device pretended to forget a password, walked into one of the most guarded studios in gaming, taunted its entire staff on their own internal chat, and dumped the most anticipated game in history onto the internet for free. The company's attempt to contain it made it more real. The chaos spawned a six-figure scam. The industry rallied in a way it almost never does. And the fallout may have ended remote work for an entire studio. All of it from a Travelodge investor. According to recent analyst estimates, GTA 6 could generate as much as $5 billion in its first week on the market. The game survived, and in November, both the trial and the launch happened in the same month. The story isn't over yet. If you want to keep going down this rabbit hole, there's a video on this channel about the Lapsus group and every other company they hit before Rockstar, Nvidia, Microsoft, Samsung, and how the same social engineering tricks worked every single time. That one's worth watching. And if you've got a take on how Rockstar should have handled any of this, the security, the DMCA strikes, the return to office mandate, drop it in the comments. Genuinely curious where people land on that. Subscribe if you want the next one the day it drops, because there's more of this story still to tell.